Good morning, gardening friends. Budget Gardener here. It's now Tuesday morning at a little bit after 10 o'clock, and not a whole heck of a lot is going on, but I've got a new set of filters to put on the lens, so I figured I'd come out and do an update. So let's take a look around. Let's start off with the problem I was having last week, which was the pepper plants and the fact they were being eaten. Well, the leaves are starting to look a little bit more diseased, not so much eaten out, so it kind of begs the question, what's going on? I looked at a bunch of different things last week, and then I came up with the wonderful idea of spraying. Well, the spray bottle broke down, so at this point what I'm doing is just taking a regular bottle of water, putting some marigold in it, just a couple of spare heads that I happen to have, drop them in there, let it soak for a while, and then pour it on the plants, and hoping that that will create the smell that will repel the insects. I just can't find the actual insects. But there is good news on the peppers. This might be a little hard to see. It's a hard shot to focus, but hopefully you can see that there are flowers on this pepper plant. There are actually flowers on the other. This is the Marconi pepper, and the Peperoncini also has flowers. So that's the first signs of getting fruit. So despite the leaves being eaten, it looks like I may actually have fruit before too long. I don't know if it's the weather or if I'm under or overwatering some of these plants, but the strawberries, at least in this particular box, are not doing that well. On the positive side, though, the hard rock tomatoes are starting to develop. I got a couple of fruits on there that are getting bigger and bigger, so it's got me happy. And more to look forward to harvest-wise on the patio tomato. So for today, I think I'll leave you with a shot of the strawberries that are still doing okay, and throw a little bit more water on the plants and wrap it up for the day. Have a good day. Good morning, gardening friends. It's now Friday morning, about 11:15, and I wanted to give you kind of an update. I wanted to start here on the artichoke planter, which basically at this point is no longer an artichoke planter. I've been watching that really tall one that you're looking at. That's actually not the one that was staked. I've already cut that one off. I was trying to figure out what plant it is. What I'm thinking is it might be the tarragon that I also planted with the artichoke. There's no sign of the artichoke anymore. I thought that was it. I got fooled. So I think I'm going to clean out this planter. Not sure if that's tarragon or not. The last thing I want to do is try and ingest it as a spice and find out that it's not actually tarragon. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a bunch of stuff out of here. We've got some perfectly good petunias in there, and I'll keep those. But I'm going to try and clear a bunch of stuff out of there. I'm also going to clear some stuff out of the other 20-gallon planters and plant some seeds. This is not part of the wildflowering project, which is a whole other thing which I need to update. But I'm going to pull stuff out, clean it up, maybe throw in a little bit more soil and plant some seeds, and we'll see where we go from there. As the budget gardener, I can't really afford to go ahead and put a whole bunch of really expensive soil in there. I mean, part of the idea of staying on a budget is, you know, you got to build some infrastructure. So I've built these boxes, but these are now a couple of years old. These were not built for this season. They were built last year. And they still have the same soil, and maybe I amended it a little bit and threw a little bit more in there because it tends to settle. I had planted the artichokes last year. That just didn't work. So I guess in this particular region, in these particular conditions, and on a budget, artichokes just aren't going to work here. So it's cheaper in the long run to just go buy them in the grocery store. However, on the positive side, the attempt to keep the marigold population up is succeeding. I've got one little sprout right there, and remember, these are entire heads, so that could actually be multiple sprouts in that one cell. But we've got 24 cells. I'm actually thinking about going out and getting more of these growing trays to try and sprout some other stuff that I can use throughout the summer. Southern California summer kind of starts right about now, July leading towards August and going through October. We have actually a parade around here that happens beginning of October, and it's usually blazing hot at that point, whereas other regions of the country are probably starting to cool off. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and work on the big planters and see what I can get done, and I'll come back. Good afternoon, gardening friends. It's now Saturday at a little after 3 p.m. and I figured I'd start off by showing you what the tomatoes look like. The heat and humidity this week seems to be kind of making them suffer. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, excuse me, for the cars going by. Giving them more water, trying not to overwater them, but they're looking a little sickly. Maybe they'll bounce back. I gave them a fairly good soaking today and the sun's still out, so that's what those look like. And over in the nursery, we have a little bit more signs of life. We actually have 2 little sprouts in that same cell now instead of just the one. And actually, now that I look at it, looks like this one over here next to it is actually maybe starting to sprout. So maybe by tomorrow I'll have something there. I haven't shown you much of the pergola area in a while. I just wanted to show you that the coleus is really starting to pop up now, and that has me happy. We've got these nice colors going on. So since I'm finally getting coleus to actually grow, I've actually planted it elsewhere, but I'll talk about that in a moment. We haven't been up in the north courtyard in quite a bit, so I figured I'd give you a quick update on this. The black-eyed Susan that was climbing and going crazy all over the lattice work up above pretty much died off. So I've gone ahead and planted some new seeds in there. I've got cardinal climber, verbena, and morning glory red. The cardinal climber and the morning glory should climb, hopefully, and the verbena should be a nice ground cover if it grows. I've never really managed to get verbena to grow, so we'll see. I'll keep you up to date on this one. So now with that, we're back to the petunia planter. Now it's no longer the artichoke planter. I finally pulled all of the whatever it was that was in there, all those tall plants out, and left the petunias in there. I have now planted some seeds for other plants, hoping to get just a box full of flowers. There are a few other pots that I haven't shown you, and basically they're more attached to the wildflower project. They've got the wildflower seeds in them. But that's pretty much it for this week. I'll have another update on the wildflowering coming up very soon, and I think that's it. So this is the Budget Gardener signing off, saying, may your thumb be green.